Hi, I'm Phil Dispenza, and this is Collecting, Investing, or Somewhere in Between. This is Deals and Steals for April of 2021. And I'm starting this recording early. Like I said, I'm going to record this in segments. It's only April 4th, it's Easter, and yesterday my wife and I went out and we discovered a couple of places. We went to a new city here in Florida, and that we've never been to before. And we were heading towards this thrift store where she actually picked up a couple of things, but I didn't. And there was this, it said storage clean out or something like that. I think the couple owned the storage facility. And this is probably something I would do. Instead of you see these storage wars auction the storage units. I think this couple actually kept the items themselves instead of auctioning off defaulted people who didn't make their payments and stuff. So they had amassed a ton of stuff. And this guy said he even had more. So we went to this place and I picked up quite a few board games. I'm going to have to stand because I can't just fit games right in front of me. But I'm going to show you a couple of other things, a couple of books I picked up at this used bookstore. Oh my God, this woman, I think she advertised, I don't know if she had advertised there's 100,000 books or 1,000,000 books, but this place, floor to ceiling, I don't know how big, a couple of thousand square feet, shelf after shelf after shelf. And outside there was like a box of free books, which I actually didn't take. If it's free, it's for me. My wife did. She took like 5 or 6 things. But she also had 25-cent boxes. So I wanted to show you what I got for 25 cents, the 2 books. And they're vintage. Probably, I'm assuming, this might not be as old as I thought it was. But first one was the Charlie Brown Valentine Day Activity Book. And they're unused. They're not perfect. But there's no writing in it. And so this is a quarter. That's what I paid. And I don't think it's dated. I looked. Oh, yeah, it is dated, 1979. So 1979, 25 cents, not used, $5 to $10. I think I've seen a few of them on. This was the biggie of the 2. It says Stan Lee's presents Marvel's Clobber in Time crossword puzzles. Mastermind crosswords. And again, unused. Pages look brand new. It's got some creasing, but I saw prices on the auction site. People asking like used VG, $15. As high as 40 or 50 for brand new old stock. I guess they were brand new old stock. But the people who were asking like the $15, they had writing in it. So that book's got to be at least $15, I would think, maybe 20. So for 50 cents, I think I made out very well with this. So this is the steal. The deal, the board game is probably more of a deal. If I would have got them for about half of what I paid. I got 6 games. I paid $58. I had 5 games and I paid $50. And then this other one was outside, and I gave in to him. I didn't know whether or not I should, but I was going to give him $5. He wanted 8, so I decided to give him the 8 because I think I made out a little better on the other stuff. Not perfect. I haven't checked all the games. But I'm going to stand for this because, like I said, you're not going to be able to see it if I'm sitting. First game I got, or the last game I got, actually, was the 3 Little Pigs. This is 1971, I believe. This is complete. It's got all the little characters in it with the stands. It's got a board game. Boxes, I'm going to have to clean these up. Move this chair out of the way. Now you can see more junk behind me. Box is going to need to be cleaned up. But the corners are pretty nice. They're not split. I see it going for like $9. Plus, you got to take into a consideration about shipping. Shipping on games is expensive. So shipping, I've seen $9. So expect to pay maybe $10 for shipping, unless the game is high enough that I should put myself back in. Unless the game is high enough that they'll give you free shipping. But most of the time, you're going to pay at least $10 for shipping on board games. If they're coming across the country, you might be paying $15. So take that into account. If I pay $10 for the game, you know, I think that's a good deal. So you might see them on TV. Leave It to Beaver. Now, it's supposed to come with money. There is no money inside this. The game, the box, again, it's no splitting. A little wear. Actually, just one corner looks split. Okay, one corner split. It might have even been taped. But the box is a little, not bad. Jerry Mathers photo. The board itself is in pretty nice shape. I'm going to show the board just for the fun of it. Again, pictures of the beaver. There's cards in there I didn't see. There's 3 pegs, which looks like, I think that's what comes with it. But for, again, $10, it's probably worth getting. Complete, I've seen them, people asking $40 to $50. So can I find the pieces for a smaller amount and complete it? That's possible. This one was, again, pretty cool graphics. Leave It to Beaver, I think, was $59. This one, I'm not too sure of the date. The Bobbsey twins. And this one's not as good. Price-wise, I think about maybe $25. I'm not too sure if it's complete. It might be missing a couple of pieces. But again, the board is in pretty nice condition. It's not split. It's got some cool graphics. Corners are split on the box, but that's all right. Again, for the price, if you're counting in the shipping and stuff. 4th game. The Rich Uncle, Parker Brothers Stock Market. I think this is also $59. Yeah, $59. This is a mess inside. I looked at it. There's money like crazy. For all I know, the Beaver's money's in here. So I'm going to look at it, put it together. But, it looks like the Monopoly guy, sort of. Remind you of him. The last 2, this one I think is really good. But the board is like a mess. The box, is a mess. It's called Fearless Fireman. And like I said, the graphics are cool. There's, again, the 1950s. Let me see if I can lift this so you can see this. Fearless Fireman. I don't want to lift it too much because I don't want stuff spilling out. And I'm going to see if I can show you some of the contents. You'll see pieces of the box in here. I don't know if I can fix it, but I guess there's a little trampoline for them to jump on. But it comes with little fire trucks. Comes with burning buildings. Let's see if I can lift it a little higher. And this, for $10, is probably worth it for the fact that people are asking up to $90. There aren't too many for sale at all. And then the last thing, again, the box is beat. It's called American Heritage Game Battle Cry Civil War. The box, outside box is beat, but I don't want to crush the Fireman box any more than it is. It might be I don't know if it's missing. It looks like they might have come out, but you got the little soldiers at the bottom and the board. There's a lot of other stuff. There's dice in there. I didn't even open this. So the board itself looks pretty good. So to explain, it was a husband and wife, I think I mentioned that, who owned this facility. And then Let me move this to the side. So the husband seemed a little more reasonable. The wife seemed she wanted too much money for everything. So when I pulled the games down, she comes in and he asks, "Oh, what should we get it for? How much should we charge them?" And she's like, "Oh, we should get 30 to 40 per game." And I'm like, not even happening. Then he decided he wanted 80 for the 5. This is before the pigs. And I said, I'll do 50. And I told him, I said, I'm not offended if you turn it down. And, I just walk away. So he seemed reasonable. He took the 50. And plus my wife bought a couple other things. The one thing I was sort of upset, but there were these little kid books. I think they looked from the 30s, and I'd never seen them before. It's not Platt and Monk, but it was like Little Red Riding Hood and Little Bo Peep, and there were a few others that had stuff that maybe nursery rhymes I never heard of. But maybe about 7 or 8 of them. I asked how much for the books. She decides she doesn't want to sell them. So we're going to go back, because according to my wife, she's pretty nice, even though she's the bad cop, good cop, bad cop. She's the bad cop, always trying to get more money. And because I asked if he had other things like comic books and stuff. And he says he does. He says he knows his books. He just said some guy from Canada was buying his comics. So we'll see what happens. I'm going back out today to that place I said was closing down. I'll be leaving in a little while. And this is part 1 of April. So I'm going to cut it here, and we'll continue later on. I have to throw this in between. I finished recording the video just to realize I forgot something I had purchased. So what I did is I'm just going to throw this in between the first clip and the last clip. I mentioned the Opera House next segment, so I'm not going to mention it again. But I picked up some laser discs, and people are thinking laser discs are worthless, and exactly why stuff becomes valuable, because everybody thinks it's worthless. They throw it away a lot of times because they don't even think it's worth holding on to. And laser discs weigh. I mean, they're just as heavy, if not heavier, than records. So I picked up what I considered cool. They were $1 a piece. So I said, all right, I'm gonna keep these maybe for myself. I don't have a laser disc player. The guy had them, but he wanted like 50 a piece, so I figured I could find one somewhere along the line, a little cheaper. So, in no particular order, Three Stooges cartoon. Of course, the popularity of Three Stooges is, still there. I got Star Trek. These are 2 vintage episodes from '66. They probably released 2 per laser disc. Probably maybe 1 on each side. I don't know how laser discs, if they play both sides. Dracula with Frank Langella. So I thought that was cool. It was one of the first ones. As soon as I saw that, I said I'm going to decide to pick up some laser discs. Grease 2. You might laugh, but I absolutely love this movie. I sing the songs. You got hot Michelle Pfeiffer on the cover. Worth it. Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. Laurel and Hardy, Flying Deuces movie. I figured that's probably cool. Just because the popularity of it, feels like there's 2 discs in here. Annie, the movie, with Albert Finney, Carol Burnett, Bernadette Peters, Tim Curry. There's like a lot of stars in that. So Annie, of course. Tom and Jerry. I mentioned Tom and Jerry constantly with the comics. They're always on Boom. This one I thought was cool. Mr. Magoo in Sherwood Forest. So Mr. Magoo is Friar Tuck. So I think that's funny. Being a Yankee fan, I saw this. Pride of the Yankees. Gary Cooper as Lou Gehrig. You got Babe Ruth. And finally, the 10th one. I bought 10 of them, $1 a piece. The Berenstain Bears. What is this one? Meet Big Paw, Big Paw, and Christmas Tree. So there's two shorts, 1981 of the Berenstain Bears. So I'm going to continue with the other stuff I had gotten through the end of May. Okay, hopefully this is going to work. Having problems with my computer. To continue, for Deals and Steals, April didn't produce much, so I'm deciding to throw May in. I probably should have released this last week, but we haven't put some personal issues besides the computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I picked up, or part of what I picked up, and we'll take it from there. I picked up a nice batch of 23 boxed Atari games. They weren't all complete. The guy also stated that they weren't all working. And I was supposed to pay $75, and he threw in some cartridge holder, and he charged me $80, and he never refunded me money. So I was a little disappointed with that. But I'm just going to show you some of the highlights from the thing, from the purchase. Like I said, some of these don't have manuals. They're not complete. So Sword Quest, Fire World, but for the price, I mean, the boxes themselves, some of them are a little ratty, but again, Warp Lock, this is some of the rarer boxes in there. I'll easily make up the $80. Phoenix, because even if the games don't work, I have tons of extras. If their manuals are missing, I have tons of extras. Tutankhamun, it's missing the insert. It doesn't have the manual either, but that's easily replaced. But Tutankhamun box, Warlord's orange box. I actually have two more over there. You can see some of the Atari stuff over there. I got piles and piles. I got to get organized. I never got fixed with my bookshelf and stuff. Yar's Revenge, of course. I usually get 12 to 15 just for that game complete. I threw in Grand Prix. Boxes are pretty nice. So, finally, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I usually get 12 to 15 for this. So, 23 games, I figure 7 or 8, 9. I make up my money, and then the rest is pure profit. For my birthday, this really wasn't a deal or a steal. It was okay, but I just wanted to show it. It's something I didn't have. It's one of the double enders. I'm down to 3 Zonix games. Keep doing this. To complete my Zonix Atari. They're going to be costly, probably. Ghost Manor Artillery Duel. So that's going in the collection. I picked up a ton of manuals. Now I'm trying to think of how much I paid for all of them. $60, $70. First batch, I mean, when I say a ton, I mean a ton. I think there were like 40 in the first batch. Let me put them up here. What I did is I actually have them separated, because you got to keep them separated. Here's the other half, because I'm going through my list, and this is, again, it's just to fill in the list. This one's got a mix of a lot of the different companies. This one was just the small black manuals. And when I say I probably a deal, it's not a steal. I'm paying maybe 50 to 60 cents per manual. And nowadays, that's probably the going rate. This was probably the better ones. I didn't put this one in order, but he threw in a Frogger box, empty Frogger box. But that's, again, that's free. But he had 2 Stellar Track Sears in here. There's a Planet Patrol, which is a little better. Here's the second Stellar Track. Adventure is always good to have. Donkey Kong, because I have a lot of Donkey Kongs, but he's got Star Trek manual in here. And what's behind the Star Trek manual? Oh, Star Master. Pitfall 2. This is probably one of the better. Oops, I'm holding it upside down. One of the better manuals. This manual alone probably sells $6, $7. I got MASH, Mountain King. Mountain King's another one. And I would really never sell the manuals by themselves. A Frogger. So I had the Frogger box and the Frogger manual. All I need is the game, which I have probably like 10 of at least. But you don't necessarily, I never sell a manual by themselves. You'll see them online. You pick and choose, pay $3 a piece, $5 a piece, 99 cents to $5, $8, whatever. If you need it, again, it's about the specific variations, and you might not be able to. Hopefully, you could figure out, but you might not be able to get the specific variation to the game you own. All right, so the last part is a bunch of comic books. Opera House guy, that was the guy in town who went out of business. I didn't say it was the Opera House at the time, but I wanted to point this out. I'm going to point this out when I hit the Bronze Age next recording. There's Book and Record Star Trek, and a lot of these they're not worth money. And I look at the Overstreet, they actually priced them like 50 to 75, up to 100 or something for some of these. It's brand new sealed. The corner's a little dinged, but the one thing about this is that if you look at the top corners, let me get it back. They're not clipped. Majority of these you always get, they were like an overstock. If you know anything about records, they would clip the corners to quote not to sell them anymore. That meant that they weren't supposed to sell them anymore. They got credit. I don't know what it was, but a lot of those book and records have clipped corners. And Overstreet says clipped corners half price, which is probably maybe reasonable, but I don't know anybody who pays that. And there's actually different versions, because this one was a little later, but we're not going to discuss too much of that. I did pick up a Dead World IDW Restoration 1 through 5. This was retail on these are $4. I paid $2. I paid $10 for the set. For some reason, I have Alien Nation Spartans. Every single book that I'm about to show you is $1 a piece. I had the pink cover. Don't have blue and yellow. I was missing number 3, so I finished that. Shitomo Crusade Special Chromium was $1. This is Mars Attacks IDW number 1. I didn't have it number 1. It says RI. I'm assuming it's a retailer incentive cover. I didn't look this up to see if it was worth anything. And then finally, I got a bunch of Turoks. 7 gold key Turoks. I think they're pretty much in the 90s. Cool covers. They're not destroyed. I didn't count the pages. I think I did on one of them. It was complete. But at $1 a piece for Turoks, I didn't have my Turok list because I don't have that many. So just buying them, even if they're duplicates, they'll be able to resell. So hopefully this video worked. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear my computer going nuts. It has been slow for the past 3 weeks. I don't know what I did. I'm going to have to bring it into the shop. Anyway, so that's Deals and Steals for April and May, and we'll see what June holds. So like, share, subscribe, and as I always say, tell your friends and family, and we'll see you next time.